Right now, somewhere in your city, two people are waking up in homes that look almost identical. Same size, same neighborhood, maybe even the same building. One of them is building wealth in their sleep. The other one is making someone else wealthy while they sleep. And the only difference between those two people is one decision that most people never get taught to think about seriously. You are probably the second person right now, and that is not your fault. But it might be the most expensive thing happening in your life that you are not fully aware of yet. This video is about that one decision, and by the end of it, you are going to understand something about wealth that most people spend their entire lives never seeing clearly. Let's start with something that sounds harsh, but is just math. Every month you pay rent, that money is gone, completely gone. You get a place to sleep, you get a roof, you get the ability to live in that space for 30 days, and then it is over. You do not own anything, you have not built anything. You hand over the money and it disappears into someone else's future. Now here's what happens on the other side of that transaction. The person who owns the property you are renting takes your money and uses it to pay down what they owe on the building every single month, which means every single month they own a little more of it. The asset grows, their wealth grows, and you funded it. You are not just paying for a place to live, you are paying for someone else's asset, month after month, year after year, without getting anything back. That is not a moral judgment. Renting is sometimes the only option. And there are times in life when renting makes complete sense. But what does not make sense is doing it for decades without understanding what it actually costs you, and without ever making a plan to change it. Stay with me because this next part is important. Let's talk about what an asset actually is, because this word gets used all the time and most people have a fuzzy idea of what it means. An asset is something you own that either holds value, grows in value, or generates money for you over time. That is the whole definition. Something that works for you while you sleep, something that is worth more tomorrow than it is today, something that puts money in your direction instead of taking it out. A car is not an asset. The moment you drive it off the lot, it is worth less than you paid. Clothes are not assets. A phone is not an asset. These things have value to you, but they do not build your wealth, they consume it. Property, land, a building, a home, is one of the oldest and most proven assets in human history. Every civilization we talked about in the last video understood this. The Romans built wealth through land ownership. The Egyptians measured wealth in land. Ancient Chinese dynasties were built on who controlled the land. And here's why property works as an asset in a way almost nothing else does for regular people. When you buy a property, you do not need to have the full price to own it. You put in a portion, sometimes as little as 10% ours, and you control the whole thing. The whole asset works for you. The whole asset grows, but you only put in a fraction of its value to get started. And while you are living in it or renting it to someone else, the value of that asset is quietly growing over time. Not every year, not in a straight line, but over a decade, over 2 decades, the direction is almost always up. And when you eventually sell it, the growth belongs entirely to you. That is a completely different relationship with money than paying rent every month and ending up with nothing to show for it 30 years later. Stay with me because this next part is the one people get wrong most often. Now you might be thinking, this is nice in theory, but I cannot afford to buy anything. My income is too low, the prices are too high. This is advice for people who already have money, not for someone in my situation. And I want to take that seriously, because it is a real feeling, and in many places it reflects a genuinely difficult reality. But here's what is also true. The belief that property ownership is only for wealthy people is itself one of the things that keeps people from becoming wealthy. It is a story about the future based on where you are right now. And where you are right now is not where you have to stay. Let's talk about what actually needs to happen before buying property is possible, because it is not as far away as it feels. The first thing is understanding that buying property is not a tomorrow decision. It is a 2-year decision, a 3-year decision, something you aim at and build toward deliberately, not something that either happens or does not happen based on your current income. What does building toward it actually look like? It starts with the gap. Remember the Roman concept of frugalitas from the last video, the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is what you are building. Every month the gap exists, something is accumulating. And that accumulated amount is what eventually becomes your entry point into ownership. It also means understanding your credit. In most countries, the ability to borrow money to buy property depends on your history of managing smaller amounts of money responsibly. Every bill you pay on time, every debt you avoid or pay down, every month you manage your money without crisis. These things are quietly building your ability to access the system that makes property ownership possible. And it means learning the market you are in, not obsessively, not every day, but knowing roughly what property costs in the area you want to live in, what the entry requirements are, what a realistic timeline looks like. Because the people who buy property are almost never the people who stumbled into it. They are the people who planned for it years before it happened. Imagine where you are 5 years from now if you start building toward this today versus 5 years from now if you keep renting without a plan. In the first version, you may not own property yet, but you are closer. You have a growing gap between your income and spending. You understand how the system works, you have a number you are building toward, and a timeline that is getting shorter every month. In the second version, you have paid 5 more years of rent. You have a landlord who is 5 years closer to owning their building outright. And you are in the same position you are in right now, except 5 years older and with 5 fewer years of compounding on your side. The difference between those two futures is not income, it is awareness and intention. Stay with me because this last part is the most important thing in the whole video. Here is the real reason this gap between renters and owners exists and keeps growing. It is not intelligence, it is not even income at the start, it is information. The people who own property, the people building wealth through assets, were almost always taught to think about money this way by someone in their family. A parent, a grandparent. Someone who sat them down and explained that the goal is not just to earn money but to own things that grow, that the rent you pay should one day become a mortgage you pay, because at least at the end of a mortgage you own something. The people who rent forever were not taught this. They were taught to work hard and pay their bills, which is good advice, but it is incomplete advice. It leaves out the most important part, is what you are building toward with all that hard work. You are watching this video because somewhere in your life that conversation never happened, and that is not a personal failure. It is a gap in what you were given. But you are here now, and now you know. The goal is not to rent forever and hope things get easier. The goal is to understand what an asset is, understand why property is one of the most powerful assets available to regular people, and start building, right now, at whatever income you're at, toward the day when the money you pay every month starts building your future instead of someone else's. Start with the gap. Protect the gap, grow the gap, and point it at something that will last. That is the whole thing, not complicated, just almost never taught. This is Play Richly, the financial education that should have come much earlier, delivered the way a friend would deliver it, not a textbook. If this video opens something up for you, subscribe. A new video every single week. And if you know someone who is renting right now without a plan, send them this. Because the earlier someone understands this, the more time they have to do something about it. See you next week.